My name is Laia Zubrecki. I'm an actress, and thank you so much for watching.
Welcome back, everyone, to another incredible episode of Chat with Dan. For today, we have on the show the incredible, amazing, badass superstar, Laia. Laia, how are you today?
I'm good. How are you?
Doing fantastic. I mean, what better way to start up an epic day than to be chatting with someone as badass as you? You know what I mean?
That is an amazing introduction. Thank you.
Absolutely.
This is a great way to start my day. So thank you so
Absolutely.
much.
Absolutely. Before we start, I do want to thank those who are watching this. Thank you so much. Now, if you're new to the channel, don't forget to leave a like, subscribe, follow, leave me a comment, let me know what you think about this interview. Now, without further more, let's jump in and tell me, for those who don't know who is incredible, amazing, badass superstar Laia, can you please tell us who you are?
Well, I don't know if I can match that badass superstar, but yeah, my name is Laia Zubrecki. I'm an actress. I'm a violinist. I kind of do a bunch of different things and have done throughout my life. And yeah, here I am today and excited to talk to you.
There you go. Great. Now, let's go back in time and tell me, where the journey begin? Like, what made you want to, start following the whole, like throughout the whole arts?
Yeah, so I started in the music field as a kid. I was really involved in my community. I taught violin and fiddle, and I was performing quite a bit as a kid and a teenager, and was really involved in that community. And I always had acting in the back of my mind as something that I would love to do, but it seemed like such a far off, like elusive, didn't know how it works, how people can get there kind of thing. And I know, yeah, so it was always kind of stashed away in my mind and thought, maybe one day I'll try it. So I just stuck to the music and continued my life. I went, got my degree in psychology, pursued more corporate type jobs, and then the pandemic hit. And I thought, there's so much uncertainty in the world. What better time than to pursue something completely different and start acting? So that was my kind of roundabout way of getting here.
There you go. I love it. It's so interesting because for some of the actors that I've interviewed, most of them started due to the whole pandemic. So that's pretty interesting.
Really, yeah.
hmm
It
Yeah.
was quite a pivotal time in my life. I had uncertainty with the job that I had had for 6 years. All of a sudden, there was a big change there, and I, yeah, I just kind of entered the pandemic with open arms and nothing else that I needed to do. I had an open window,
Yeah.
and it completely changed from there.
That's really cool. That's really cool. The whole pandemic and also some documentaries I watched about space got me thinking like why I don't do something that I actually really enjoy instead of, wasting time on something that I just hate. You know what I mean?
Yes. Yeah, no, absolutely. I think it did that for a lot of people.
Yeah.
I think it made a lot of people think, like, what do I actually enjoy doing?
Yeah. Absolutely. And what were some of the challenges? Like what once you realize, you wanna to do this as a career now, what were some of those, like first challenges you had when you were recently making your first couple of steps?
Yeah, the first steps, because I was going into it blindly, I didn't know anybody in the industry. I didn't know really where to start. Um, so I just started Googling classes here in the city. I didn't know anything about any of the teachers, so I just chose one and started going to a class. Um, but I think the biggest challenge that I had was reframing my mindset. So changing how I envisioned myself so that I could present that to my family and my friends and other people, and just to kind of own this new adventure that I was on, um, amidst all the uncertainty and all the criticism that comes with it.
Yeah.
So I think that was probably the biggest challenge is reframing that.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah, like going through, yeah, like going, yeah, like basically pursued those careers that even till this day have like this kind of a stigma, right? That you are not gonna be able to make it. You're gonna starve, you're gonna be homeless. You should search for something. So yeah, and I find it like very, yeah, like very curious that even till this day, those type of yeah, like those type of careers still have that same stigma as like, I don't know, like 50 years ago. So
Yes, very much so. Um, yeah, and I think as much as I've been involved in various arts throughout my life, even for myself, it was a big like, okay, I'm doing this
mm,
and and that's okay. This is me now. This is what I want to do. Um, but yeah, to get over that kind of stigma of it
mm,
was challenging.
absolutely. Now, focusing a little bit here more on your acting career, tell me like how you prepare a character. Now, of course, that I understand that depends on the role, right? But like, what is your, yeah, like usual approach when you are about to start this whole process?
Yeah, so I mean, it starts with reading the part, reading the script. Um, I really make sure to just read it starting with from the point of view of my character. So already having that first pass as the character that I'm going to play. Um, and then just doing any research. So if there's anything that I don't understand or um, words that I don't know or different things that I don't know about, I'll do research just to make sure that I really understand what it is that is going on. And then just going through the process of creating the character, doing all the homework. So all the why why it's happening,
Mm,
where it's happening, who you're all involved with, um, when it's happening, um, and then figuring out what my objective is. So as as my character, what's my overall objective in my life, and then what's my objective with each interaction that I have, and
okay.
what am I trying to get. Um, and then yeah, just doing all of those background steps. There's a lot that goes into it in that initial homework stage, and then just playing with it and embodying it, and um, whether that's figuring out little nuances in body language that this character has, or seeing who that might be similar to and what little things I can take from them and kind of copy if I see somebody on the street or a walk or how they talk or what they wear, that kind of a thing.
Mm. And do you usually take your characters home, and like, has that ever affected you in a negative way?
Um, I don't I don't usually take the character home, although I had an experience recently um, where I was basically I took the energy of the situation home. Um, and so it was a scene that I had to do. It was just my reaction to a murder. And in my preparation for it, I went a little bit too method, I think.
Mm,
I did all the steps to like really try and feel what this would feel like. And that it affected me quite strongly. So I had a panic attack on set, and then continued to have anxiety after that. So that was definitely something that I didn't necessarily take home the character, but
mhm.
the energy that I had to portray stuck with me and have to
Yeah,
work.
it can be challenging sometimes, right? Especially if you're about to play something that you have never experienced before and it's kind of very emotional,
Mm-hmm.
even though that of course you are doing it in a safe environment. I mean, still I would assume that it's challenging to try to portray the situation that, as I said before, that you haven't experienced at all. So,
Yeah, and that's it's a good learning there to really know what you need in those moments. Um, in that specific moment, I didn't use um, the people around me, the resources. I didn't really reach out, so it was very isolating. And to know that going forward, if there's
mm,
ever that kind of a situation, to own the space, own what you're feeling, what's happening, because these can be very strong emotions that we have to
yeah,
deal with. And sometimes they can take over. So just to own that, and it's okay to just step back, take a minute, let everyone know, and then continue in a safe way.
yeah. And is there any type of character that you would refuse to play, maybe because the message is something that you don't believe in?
Um, I can't think of a specific type of character. I think it would, as long as that character was supporting an overall positive story,
Mm,
and an overall good message. I know there's villains, there's um, maybe in and of themselves, obviously characters that do bad things, that um, say not great things. But if they're in support of an overall positive story, then I think they have a place.
mm,
So I couldn't think of anything specific that I wouldn't play. Yeah.
okay, okay. And during your
Mhm.
acting career, yeah, like so far, what has been the worst audition you ever had?
The worst audition was, so I did this this one audition a year ago, and it was, most of the auditions right now are self-tape.
Yeah.
Um so, and then the callback is in person. But this one, the initial audition was in person. And I prepared everything. Um they wanted me to prepare 6 scenes, which is a lot
Yeah.
um, in comparison to most other auditions. And so I prepared them all, I had them all ready. But when I got there, they wanted me to do them just consecutively, just start to finish, but they didn't all follow each other back to back.
Mm-hmm.
So it was me like running back and forth, doing God knows what. I don't know. I just felt like a crazy person running all around. It felt like a one-man show, just like running all these different ways and um, doing this one scene, doing the next scene, but yeah, they didn't relate. Anyways, it was a gong show. But it was fun. It was for a short film. I did get the role, so that was positive, but it was
Oh,
afterwards, that's like, what did I just do? It was,
no.
yeah.
No, absolutely. And like, let's say that one day I call you and I tell you that I want to become an actor. Now, here's the thing. I don't know anything about it. So, based on what you know so far, what do you think it would be, yeah, like a good place for me to start?
A good place to start, I say, would be to take a class.
Okay.
Um, yeah, once you get into a class environment, obviously you get to meet people, you get to talk to people, and there's classes where there's people who are at different levels.
Mm,
So even if you do take a beginner class, there may be people in there who have done a little bit more, so you can ask them what they've done, what their experience is, and then you can start just figuring out what the next steps are that you need, and ultimately if you enjoy acting. Um, so I would say probably a class would be a good first step, and also the teachers, because they're great resources as
mm,
well.
mm, mm,
Um, to figure out, yeah, to start knowing what those steps are, because then you have to think of, headshots and getting an agent and yeah, all these different things, start submitting for like short films and
Yeah.
student films and that kind of a thing. So um yeah, talking with different people, you can find out, see who their headshots were, and if you who did their headshots, and if you like them, obviously then you know who to go to. So
Okay. I'll
yeah.
take that into consideration. If I ever want to become an actor, I'll be letting you know in my thank you speech when I receive an Oscar.
Okay, okay, please do.
Sounds like a plan.
Sounds
All
good.
right. All right. Perfect. Now, moving on here. Now, let's say that for your birthday, you get a time machine. But here's the catch. You can only travel once and to meet the 13-year-old version of yourself. So what would you say to that little you?
Oh, the little me. Um, I would tell her not to be afraid to try things.
Hmm.
Um, and not afraid to try things sooner, like and not to overthink things. So just go out. If something interests you, do it. Um, yeah. Don't be so fearful
Hmm.
around
Okay.
on trying different things.
There you go. All right. And what would you like to have told to yourself before becoming an actress?
Um, I think I would have told myself to really make sure that I maintain other aspects of my life that I enjoy. Um, to really maintain that aspect of self-care. Um, there's a lot there's a lot of uncertainty, as we said, in acting, and there's a lot that's out of your control. So um, to not get caught up
Mm,
in all of that, and I mean, with that, you can get so hard on yourself. You can, like, the ups and downs can be quite big. So to avoid that, to really maintain the other aspects of your life that you enjoy doing.
mm. I mean, yeah, at the end of the day, yeah, like at the end of the day, it is, I mean, you, like what I'm trying to say here. Yeah, so what I'm trying to say here is that it is important that you should like go for it, that if you actually want to if you actually want to do something, just go for it, because I do think that you are never going to be 100% ready for you to start doing something unless you just jump, see what happens, and along the way you'll be able to learn and where exactly where to go and things like that.
Yes, absolutely. 100%. I think you have to jump into whatever it is that you want to do, like you said. Um, and figure out, because there is so much that's out of your control, figure out what are the things that are in your control.
Yeah.
So whether it's like networking, or submitting yourself to projects while you wait for auditions to come through from your agent, or um, collaborating with others to put on small productions, and just always be involved to the capacity that you can, so that you're not just sitting there
Yeah.
twiddling your thumbs and waiting for the auditions to come in.
Yeah, absolutely. Now, let's say, that one day Netflix, HBO Max, Disney Plus, you name it. They call you and they tell you this idea, which goes that they're gonna make a film based in all of the characters you have played at the moment. They're all gonna gather to celebrate your birthday. But here's the thing, the film needs a name, so how would you call it?
That's a good question. um yeah, this is a hard one, and I'm terrible at one liner, like at coming up with names. So this is a hard one. I think, I don't know. I am overthinking things too much. Um,
Mm,
on on one respect, I think I would call it gentle intentions if it's
Mm,
based on me and my process and the
okay.
roles and things like that. I know
Okay.
that's abstract, but that's how I approach things is having an intention, but being gentle with myself
Mm,
around it.
mm.
But then on the other side of it, I'd probably just call it like play or having fun, something like that.
I'll take it. Okay. All right. It sounds interesting. It sounds yeah, I like it.
Okay.
I like. What about describing your whole career now, but this time on a drink? How would you call it and what would it have?
Oh, what would it have in a drink? Okay.
Yep.
Well, it would be tequila based. Um, and it would have what would it have? It would have hibiscus
Okay.
in it. It would be sweet and delicious. Um, and it would have some cardamom on top. And it would be called Spicy New You.
Hmm.
No.
Okay. Yeah. Yeah. You are actually really good with one-liners. That's pretty cool.
Am I okay?
You got it. You got it. Now, if there's one thing that you could change right now about the whole film industry, what would it be?
Um, I mean, I know that this is a whole movement that's happening, but it's one that I fully support and am excited to see more of is women in film.
Mm,
Um, so yeah, women in all aspects of the crew, and
yeah.
production and um, yeah, continuing that forward.
Yeah, I can understand that. Yeah. Yeah, I am the type of person that if you're gonna put whatever character you put, make sure that you put a story into it. That you put something about so that character can be relatable because I've noticed, I mean, back then that we will have like this huge blockbuster film and then they will put some female characters here and there just to sell the movie. You know what I mean? That, for example, let's say that this film is based on a battlefield, right? And you will have like the scene with the gunshots, explosions and everything, and out of nowhere you will see the female character with a tank top, some shorts, and some shoes perhaps, and that's it. And
Mm-hmm.
you're like, come on, I mean, it's a battlefield. No one will be like, dressed like that. So I do appreciate that in films and TV shows and even in video games too. They're kind of making that yeah, there's this huge conversation needs to be, but at least they're making some of it now. They are making more interesting female characters. You'll be like, okay, I like the story. And even though that I'm a male, I can relate somehow in some of the things that she's saying or she's thinking about, which I find it pretty cool.
Yeah. Yeah, no, absolutely. I think of like yeah, like Daniel Day-Lewis comes to mind, different characters that these amazing, incredible male actors have played, and to see those played by a woman would be
Yeah.
really, yeah.
Yeah, absolutely. Absolutely. And moving on here a little bit, like what motivates you? We all have those days that basically we just want to quit. Regardless of what we're doing, we just want to throw the towel. So
Mhm.
tell me, for you in this case, what usually motivates you back? What usually puts you back on the road that you have built for so many years now?
That's a good question because yes, there's definitely those days for all of us. I think I think just taking a step back and knowing that this is something that I've put a lot of time and effort into.
Mm,
Um, and boiling it down to why I started in the first place, um, it was because I love playing. I love um, I love the collaboration aspect of filmmaking. Um, being part of a super small part of such a big production and everyone working so hard um, to get it done
yeah.
and towards the common goal. That's just such an invigorating feeling. So on those days where it's like you're doing an audition, you send another one in, you're just kind of grinding along,
Mm,
or the days that you don't have auditions and you're just doing whatever. That's what it comes down to. It's like, oh yeah, that's what I love about it.
yeah.
So that's why I'll keep trying and I keep working towards it.
Okay. All right. And my last question, if we could make a film out of the episode that we just did right now, what would be the name of that film?
Another name, just out of these, it would be called maybe New Day.
New Day.
Yeah.
Because that's gonna be the title of this video.
Oh, it is? Okay. I didn't know that. Okay, now I have to think maybe, hmm, maybe like, yeah, that doesn't work for the title, does it?
You tell me.
Maybe we'll do, let's say, um, let's let's call that one Gentle Intentions. I like that.
Got it. That's gonna be the title then. Sounds
Okay,
like a plan.
love
I
it.
mean, at the end, what can I say? You know, it is incredible that you are making this happen. You know, of course, it is challenging, but I'm the type of person that I believe that everything is challenging. You know, like once you put it in perspective, being an actor, that being a doctor, lawyer, etc. It's kind of it's difficult at the same time. You know, I mean, you guys will do auditions, the other
Mhm.
ones will do job interviews and things like that. So at the end of the day, you are making this happen, and that's incredible. And I'm super sure that our next conversation would be about the thousands upon thousands projects you have been in, because you like it. You know, you love it. You love what you do. And I know it sounds so cliche about what makes you happy and things like that, but we all know that it's a pain in the butt. You know that it's really hard. But hey, as I said, I mean, you are making results here, and that's proof enough for everyone to be like, hey, if you can do it, I can do it, and that's badass. So
Thank you so much. Yeah, everything's hard, but if you put your mind to it and your heart to it, you can accomplish.
yeah, absolutely. Now, I do want to thank those who watch this as well. Thank you so much for staying here throughout this whole video. It means a lot. Don't forget, as I said in the beginning, please leave a like, a comment, let me know what you think. Now, this episode is about to be over, but on the description below, you're gonna find all of Leia's social media. So let's follow her. Come on, let's make her viral. Hashtag Team Leia, because she's a badass here. And again, thank you so much for making this happen, Leia. Keep being this incredible, amazing, badass, super person you always are. And I'll see you in the next one.
Thank you, Dan.
All right.